Hello viewers, I'm Kausalya. Today we are going to discuss about another type of parameters of a two-port network. H parameters are hybrid parameters. So as usual, like other parameters, here also we are going to consider two terms as independent variables and the remaining two as dependent variables. So here we are taking I1 and V2 as independent and V1 and I2 as dependent. So here the basic equation is V1 is equal to H11I1 plus H12V2 and I2 is equal to H21I1 plus H22V2. So here all the H terms H11, 12, 21 and 22 are called hybrid parameters. So as usual, here we are going to evaluate all these four parameters. So here the first thing is we are open circuiting the input port. So whenever an input port is open circuited, obviously I1 is the current flowing through the input port and V1 is the voltage across the input port. So just for your reference, I am drawing. So this is your V1, this is your V2. And here this is your I1 and this is your I2 and this is a two-port network. So here I am going to make I1 as 0. That is I am open circuiting this port. So I1 will be made 0. So when I1 is made 0, when you apply this over here, we will be calculating the values of H12 and H22. So here V1 is equal to H12V2. Therefore, H12 is given by V1 by V2 provided we are making I1 as 0. So this is known as open circuit voltage gain. That is the ratio between the voltages is known as voltage gain. And we are doing this, we are getting this by open circuiting. Therefore, here it is known as open circuit voltage gain. Now, here in this basic equation again we are making I1 0. So this term will vanish. So the remaining parameters are I2 is equal to H22V2. Therefore H22 is nothing but I2 by V2. So the ratio between the current and voltage is known as admittance. Right? The ratio of current to voltage is known as admittance. So here this is known as open circuit output admittance because you see here V2 and I2 are the terms related with the output port. So here this is known as open circuit output admittance. Now we are going to find the remaining two parameters. So this is done by, again look at the basic equation. First we have made the value of I1 as 0 and we have calculated H12 and H22. Now we are going to make this value V2 as 0 and we are going to calculate H11 and H21. So this is done by short circuiting the output port. That is when this is short circuited, obviously the value of V2 is 0. So here whenever this V2 is made 0, then our equation reduces to V1 is equal to H11 I1. Therefore H11 is nothing but V1 by I1. So V1 by I1, the ratio between the voltage to the current is known as impedance and this is done by short circuiting, and here this term 1 refers to the input port. Therefore, this is known as short circuit input impedance. Now the next term is I2 is equal to H21 I1. Therefore, H21 is given by I2 by I1. So again, the ratio between the currents is known as current gain. And here this is obtaining by short circuit and here the ratio is between, that is to the output current to the input current. So this is known as short circuit forward current gain. So finally we have calculated all these four parameters. So here you see when you finally list it out, the parameters corresponds to, that is you see the first parameter, okay, here. This gives voltage gain. H12 discusses voltage gain and H22 gives the values of admittance. H11 gives impedance and H21 gives the current gain. So Since these parameters corresponds to either impedance, admittance, voltage gain or current gain, they are known as hybrid parameters. Right. Now, the next topic is G parameters or inverse hybrid parameters. So here, as the name indicates, just we are going to reverse. That's it. Okay, we are going to reverse the things. So here in H parameter, we had framed equations like this, right? That is in terms of V1 and I2. But in inverse hybrid parameters, this is just reverse. We are going to frame equations in terms of I1 and V2. So, I1 is equal to G11 V1 plus G12 I2. Similarly, V2 is equal to G21 V1 plus G22 I2. So, again the same thing. When you make the term I2 as 0, we will be finding the values of G11 and G21. So, G11 is given by I1 by V1 and G21 is given by V2 by V1. So, when the term V1 is made 0, so obviously we will be getting the remaining two parameters and the values are, you see, G12 is I1 by I2 and G22 is V2 by I2. So, this is just an introduction to hybrid parameters and inverse hybrid parameters. So, that's it. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.